Buford. You certainly know Toby from the many meetings she's attended on this committee, and now she's an official board member and a member of the Parks Committee. So welcome.
Oh, nice.
Toby.
Welcome, Toby.
Thank you. Thanks for selecting me as part of the Parks Committee.
Okay, we'll start with my reading of the committee guidelines. Good evening. My name is Barbara Stronza. I'm Chair of the Parks, Recreation, Cultural Affairs Committee. This is Bronx Community Board 7's Park meeting. The committee agenda you will see in a few minutes. On September 22nd, on September 2nd, 2021, Governor Kathy Hochul signed into law Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021, which authorizes the community board to run this meeting remotely, and minutes will be taken for record keeping. The minutes will appear on our website within days and can be requested from Bronx Community Board 7 at any time. If you're calling into the meeting on conference, controls while joining from a landline or cell by calling dial-up number to hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, *9 to virtually raise your hand. We will run this meeting as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove and/or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation of anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban. The amount of time to be objectively determined by the above committee of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities will be summoned. Everyone besides the speaker or the presenter will stay muted throughout the meeting. After each presentation is over, I will inquire if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify they have questions by pressing the raised hand button on the screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Members of the public who have joined through the online link will be able to ask questions and make a brief statement on the item after each presentation and after the committee has had an opportunity to ask clarifying questions by pressing the raise button on your screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. We will stay on topic with agenda items. Any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting, granted there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following the questions, discussion, and public comment portion, the committee will begin their discussions after each presentation or agenda item and will conclude with the decision to vote on a recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. If there are any questions related to the meeting software or to our process, please use the chat function or raise hand function now or contact the district manager. Okay. We have a couple more people I want to let in. Okay. All right, the next thing I would like to do is to take attendance of the committee. Okay, so we'll look for a show. Okay. I am here. Tasha Andrews? Tasha? Betty Arce? Okay, she's coming back, I believe, that she would be on. Daisy Perry.
Present.
Okay, thank you, Daisy. Gwendolyn Thomas Steed,
Present.
thank you. Ruth
Did
Caraballo,
you mark me? You got me.
Present.
okay.
I'm here, Barbara.
Who's that, Betty?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay,
Sorry.
gotcha.
Thank you.
Toby Buford,
Present.
thank you. Okay. Okay. All right, we'll start by reviewing the minutes of our last meeting. Okay, what is the minutes from our September 14th meeting? Remember, we saw the plans for the rehabilitation of Poe Park. And we supported it as a committee. Our second motion had to deal with requesting additional funding for parks. It was thrown out by our executive committee, but I wasn't too upset because I know we sent a similar motion that was passed in the spring. And I'm assuming that that was taken care of. All right, budget requests will be discussed tonight. As we said, we got a report on the rec centers in the area and the different friends group. Right. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
Motion to accept the minutes as presented. Gwen,
Okay, Gwen?
Ruth seconds the motion.
Thank you. All right, everybody in favor of accepting the minutes?
aye.
Okay. Anybody have any objections? No, okay. All right, and I believe we also have an agenda that I would like to put up before we start. Okay, this is our agenda for tonight. Okay, we have someone from Park, so we'll be able to do our maintenance problems. And then we have a representative from Reese Street Garden. And then we will discuss the tree lighting and go into reports from our centers. Okay. All right, we'll start with the Parks update. We have a new rep from Parks here. All right, she was here a minute ago. Allison, okay. Allison, welcome. I understand you're taking over or you're representing Parks because our former manager is out on leave.
Yeah,
Okay, so in other words, if we have any complaints or whatever, it is you that we get in touch with. Allison?
you,
Okay, can you hear me? Can you unmute yourself, Allison? Okay, we'll get back to Allison then. As far as maintenance, can we hear from the committee regarding any maintenance problems that they've noticed that they would like corrected or whatever? Anybody? I have a couple I would like to bring up, especially since it's the leaf time of the year, and it doesn't help when you see the park workers blowing the leaves out into the road and then a wind comes by and they're back on the sidewalk again. So maybe we can get something done to have them at least pick up what they're blowing. So that's one observation I've had. Does anybody else have any observations? Okay, all right, we'll move on and try to get back to Allison a little later. Okay, we have Paul Kittis here with us from Reese Street Garden. Welcome, Paul.
Hi, Barbara. How are you?
Okay, and yourself? It's good, I see.
Pretty good. I
so-
was at the Botanical Garden today.
Okay, beautiful day. And can you give us a report about Reese Street? We haven't heard much in the past of late anyway, as to what's happening and how many members you have and whatever. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, this is an hello meeting. We've got some things we would like to talk to you about, but they're long range, nothing imminent. Reese Street Garden is really three things. It is, and Reese, Mr. Reese, anybody know what he did? Mr. Reese designed the Grand Concourse, a very innovative transportation system at the time. And they named this little triangular piece of land Reese Street. No, they called it Reese for a while. It's been a gas station and some other things. Now, what differentiates us from before is how the keys operate. Parks Department comes and they open their garden every morning separately, and that's approximately 1/3 of the site is a park. We're a community garden. We all have our own keys to the garden. We could go in and out whenever we want to. We are granted that privilege. And for that, we have to shovel snow. Yes, I've been out there 10 o'clock at night because I couldn't do it in the morning. We had to shovel snow. Now we're getting pressure to be sanitation workers and to clean up outside our garden. We keep our garden immaculate. I've been eating bok choy out of mine, quite good. Sorry, no more room at the table, but we would like to open discussions on three issues. We have a brick fireplace we would like to use. And the third one, I don't have the third, I don't see it. So it's, we'd like to have the fireplace, understand that we take responsibility for that garden and that plot. We'll come in regularly and show you our plans. And thank you very much for the time, Barbara. I appreciate it.
Okay, so you're asking for use of the brick fireplace? Is that what you're asking for?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not sure if we can give that permission. We do have someone on from Parks. Allison, could you help us out there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Oh. Thank you.
Allison,
I am so sorry. I took most of the time trying to get into this meeting and I did not hear what he was trying to say.
okay, Mr. Kittis is from Reese Street Parks Community Garden, which is right next to the park there. And they want to be able to use a brick fireplace in the garden. I don't know, what the park's take is on that, or whether it's legal or whatever. So I'm asking you if you don't know, could you find out for us, whatever?
So so let me just make sure I have it clear. So you want to have a fireplace put in the park?
No, we have a fenced-in garden, a community garden.
Yes.
We built a brick fireplace and we have it on a concrete pad. It was done by a contractor. It's really in good shape. And the city, we're under Green Thumb. We're not under Parks. Don't go to Parks with us. We're Green Thumb. We're a different organization. And they like us to reach out to the community and have food at our parties. We like it when we do the stuff we've grown there. So that's the situation, not part of Parks, and we're encouraged to do it. And we have a brick fireplace. We've just been good neighbors and haven't used it.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you want to use it, that's what you're saying.
Yes, it's already all there in good shape.
Okay, so you know what? Of course, I do not have the answer to that, but I can try to find out for you if it's okay to be used. I am familiar with the Green Thumb, and you guys do wonderful work. So I will try my best to find out the information that I need to. Can I just have your name?
Yes, Paul,
Paul,
646
646
318
318
5906.
5906. Okay, Paul, I will find out for you and I'll get back.
Thank you very much.
You're
What was your first name again?
Allison Jackson.
Allison.
Okay,
Yeah.
Allison, if you could share the answer with Community Board 7, we would be grateful also.
I absolutely will.
Okay,
I
that's
will
good.
do that
Thank
via
you.
email.
Thank you, Barbara.
Okay, thank you, Paul. One question for you, Paul. You used to
Yes.
have a pond there. Is it still there?
No, the pond is not there. I was against the pond from the beginning. I lost my ranking because I was against the pond, but we're making a garden out of it. We've been too successful with our vegetables.
Okay. And how many members do you have in the garden now?
14.
Very nice. Good.
That
Okay.
is nice.
Good
Thank
luck to you, and I'm glad you came, and please come from time to time and report to us.
We will, Barbara.
Okay.
Thank you for the
Thank you.
offering.
Okay. All right, we'll move back to park maintenance since Allison is on. Allison, I understand you will be covering for Joe? Is
Well,
that
I'm going to do the best that I can.
okay?
I am one of the supervisors of the district. I have District 7, I have 7 and 8.
Okay,
So I will be covering the best that I can, and whatever answers that I can provide you with right now, I will try to find out for you and I will get back to you and the committee.
okay, that would be great. And
Okay.
how long is Joe going to be out? Do you know?
Ooh, I don't know. He hurt himself, so
Yes,
He
I
might-
heard that.
he might be out for a couple of weeks. He might be out for like at least, I want to say another 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome. We're glad you're covering and you're here.
Thank you.
As far as maintenance, I had a complaint along Marshall Parkway. I see the park attendant with a blower, and all the leaves that are on the sidewalk, and very often litter too, are blown into the street and aren't picked up. And what I find happens, the wind comes and they're back on the sidewalk again. So maybe if you could tell your staff that, we expect them to sweep up, bag the leaves, whatever, it would be helpful.
Well, what I try to do is I try to encourage them to pick up the litter, and then I tell them to blow the leaves onto the grass so that we can mulch it into the grass.
Mhm.
But, sometimes it's not quite that easy, or what they may feel is best is on the day of sanitation, they'll blow it in the street and sanitation will clean it up.
Well, that doesn't always happen because
It
there are
doesn't
people
always happen.
who don't move their cars.
And it's right, this is true, and it's not always the best solution. So I do encourage them to at least pick up the litter, and if we can't pick up the leaves at the time, just to blow them onto the lawn area.
Okay, and can you give us the status of our packer? I mean, it bothers me to see the park attendants having to pick up the garbage and take it around in that little cart they have to a central location. That was never their job. And meanwhile, you know, we want the street swept and the interior of the park cleaned and whatever, and they're picking up bags of garbage. So where are we with the packer?
So thank goodness our packer is back in working condition, and we've been diligently out there on a day and night trying to do the best we can with our packer. So the packer is working again.
Okay, now is the packer, will we all see the packer going from park to pick up the garbage?
Yeah.
Or will we still see our park attendants picking the garbage up in their cart and taking it to a central location for the packer crew?
Well, sometimes you might see the people picking up the garbage. Excuse me. You might still see some of the park attendants picking up the garbage because it might be the packer hasn't gotten there in a timely manner. And I do realize that we want our garbage picked up, regardless of how it's picked up. We do want it picked up.
Right.
So if we can't get the packer over to a certain location at a certain time, then we would like, as long as we get it picked up, I feel like that's the best thing that we should do. We just want to get the garbage picked up. We don't want any, we don't want the rodents and all of that to accumulate. So,
Okay.
but more than likely we have a system where the packer goes from one side of our district to another. And, we start on one side and then we'll work our way around the district. But like I said, if the packer doesn't get to a certain area in a timely manner, then we will pick it up with our pickup trucks.
Okay.
But if it's done on a daily basis, it shouldn't be as bad as it has been in the past.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Allison regarding a park that you live near or whatever? Okay, Sirio, I see your hand is up. Go ahead.
Nobody from the board yet? Okay. In reference to what the community is upset with is when our park maintenance people have to move garbage around in order to keep up with the packer, we lose cleanliness and maintenance on a regular basis because they spend almost a day and a half moving the garbage on those golf carts. And that's what the community is complaining about, is that the maintenance people are not garbage truck drivers. They're not park drivers on the garbage truck, and they shouldn't be used for that. They're strictly in the parks to maintain the buildings, to maintain the immediate area around the buildings. I'm talking about Marshall Parkland. I'm talking about the Oval Park, St. James, et cetera, et cetera. When our maintenance people are taken from the buildings and used to fill in for one lousy garbage truck when we should have one for each park, there's a major problem. We get shortchanged. It's the same thing with blowing leaves around. All you're doing is making more problems for other people. If you blow them in the streets in front of the Webster House, those cars are not going to move. Those cars will not move. They belong to the NYPD. And those cars are permanently parked there, and all you're doing is hiding the leaves underneath the cars. And that's not fair to the community because they accumulate under there. And that leads to more and more garbage being dumped on them. So this routine of chasing garbage through the parks doesn't benefit the community at all.
Okay, thank you, Sirio. Well said. That is the problem that we have been encountering. All right, we have another hand up. Alex?
Hi, yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Cool. I'm sorry, please correct me if this is the wrong time to ask this, but I was wondering if there was any update on the lighting situation on the football field at the Williamsbridge Oval. I know it was brought
This
up
is the
last
wrong
time.
time to bring it up. We're gonna do budgets later, okay?
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, any other questions or comments about maintenance in our parks? Speak now.
Hi, Barbara. Hi, everyone. It's me.
Go
Just
ahead,
wanted
Daisy.
Hi, I just want to double check. Are we still sending letters to the officials of the park?
Yes,
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, you are.
yes, we do that.
Yes.
Okay.
But
Anything
that,
else?
can I respond to what the young man had mentioned before about spending time with the garbage?
Yes, go ahead.
So we have to clean the park, just like we have to clean our other parks. It is very unfortunate that we don't have a packer for each and every park. But that is not, I mean, that's not cost effective. We could use one packer and we can use 5 workers and get everything done in a timely manner. We could still get our garbage picked up along with that gator, and the person can still clean the parkway, and we can still, we put the garbage in one location, and the packer can go to that one location and pick up the garbage. I'm not understanding.
Well, maybe it could be that we don't see the park itself getting cleaned on the days they're picking up the trash. That's what I think the problem is.
But you know, and I'm not really, I really am not trying to make excuses, but I have to say this, that we are short-staffed. It would be an ideal thing to have 10 or 15 people cleaning Marshall, but we have 20-something parks that we also have to maintain, that, you know, we still have to clean. So we have to get to where we get to when we get there.
All right, do you have a breakdown of numbers now? The staff that you have there now will be with us all winter, or this will change?
Yes, we do have, I have, in Williamsbridge Oval, I have anywhere from 3 to 4 people working. I've broken down Marshall Parkway to zones 1 and 2. I think I have 3 people doing 1 and 2, and I have 3 people doing 3 and 4.
Okay.
Zones 3 and 4, and Fitchfield. And the playgrounds.
All right, and what about going south? St. James and DeVoe?
Well, St. James, yes, St. James is a mobile route. So St. James, I don't do DeVoe. DeVoe is not part of my,
Oh, that's right, I know that.
thank goodness.
Oh, no, I like DeVoe.
But I do have Poe Park. I do have Harris. I do have Aqueduct Walk, which we've been doing a lot of work over there. You should maybe walk through there. It looks really nice. And I
Do you
think
have a roving crew, Allison, for these parks, or?
I have a mobile crew.
The mobile crew you do have, and they go to, okay, about how many are on the mobile crew?
So my mobile crew consists of anywhere from 4 to 6 people. So the way actually Poe Park is fixed post with 3 people, and Harris Field is fixed post with 3 people. So they do Harris Field and they do Jerome Park. And then I have my mobile staff doing Aqueduct Walk and St. James. And then they do the surrounding parks, like the surrounding triangles, Barn Hill, like that.
Okay, Very good. And this crew and these numbers will last all winter?
I hope so.
Yes, so do we.
Just as long as everybody comes to work.
No, okay, all right, that's good to hear.
But no, my staff is really, I have a good staff. They're eager. In fact, we were just inspected over at Aqueduct Walk today and we passed inspection with AA. So I'm very proud
Very
of myself.
good, okay. I'll
Yeah.
have to make a trip and to see what it looks like, because I know
Yeah.
we've had numerous problems there, and that's
Yes,
great to
it's
hear
really,
that things are picking up. Good. All right, do we have any other questions for Allison?
I guess my question is not relevant, Barbara, because I wanted to let Ms. Jackson know about a problem in DeVoe, since that's not her park.
Yes,
I always get confused with the
Right.
fact that DeVoe, although it's in Community Board 7, is not a park in Community Board 7. And
Toby, what Joe Magnier used to do, if something came up at this meeting for DeVoe, he used to get in touch with the manager. Can you do that for us, Allison?
I absolutely can. I was getting ready to tell
Okay.
her. Just,
ahead.
let me know what it is and I will reach out to the
Go
manager.
ahead, Toby, give us
So-
your.
sure, so I put in the 311, and this is what I wanted to let you know, so you can let Clinton know, that I put in the 311 complaint because when I was in the park, I saw that one of the poles on the Webb Avenue side going towards Cedric was busted open and the wires appeared, and the wires were on the outside. So I
You
wanted to let,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Are you talking about the light pole?
yes, the light pole, yes.
Okay. And
Okay,
it's on the,
and
it's on the
right.
Webster Avenue?
No, it's on the Webb Avenue
Oh,
side
Webb
of the
Avenue.
park. Webb
Gotcha.
Avenue, along the path leading towards by the children's park,
Okay.
as you walk towards the dog run, the dog
Okay.
park.
Mhm.
Okay, so I wanted to alert you to that. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm a member of Friends of the Vote Park. It's doing well, but I just wanted to let you know about that.
Thank you. I will pass that information on to Mr. Johnson.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, anything else before we move on? All right, thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
We appreciate, and if anything comes up, we'll email you or get in touch.
Yes,
whatever.
please do.
Yes,
please.
sure. Thank
Good
you.
and bad.
Okay,
All right. Thank you. Have a nice evening.
okay, you too. All right,
Barbara, it's Betty. Can I ask, I'm sorry, I'm having difficulty getting on.
yes, you have a question, go ahead, Betty.
Yes,
Hang
maybe
on,
Allison can
Allison,
answer, and it's related to something that was in the chat, and I believe this is so. AJ raised the issue about lights, maintenance of lights, and I believe I indicated to him that lights come under the Department of Transportation, traffic, is it?
Allison?
Yes.
All lights, including lights around a track field or a football field or whatever.
That's a different light. That's DOT.
DOT is all lights
Yes.
in the park. Okay, I want them to be clear. Okay, so. Okay.
But now, if you're talking about the lights around the ball fields, those are something totally different.
And is that under parks?
That is, well, what we do is we reach out to, I can't think of the company's name. But I can find out. I can find out whatever information I
Okay.
can about it.
Allison,
What is it that you're interested in?
I believe AJ had mentioned, like at the ovals, there's at the lights at the football field and the tennis court that's in the Williamsbridge Oval.
Yes.
The lights sometimes don't always go on, so or aren't on at the right time. So whether it's changing the bulb or checking to see what is happening with the light itself.
The timer.
Is that DOT or parks or what?
So we put in a requisition we do a light outage report every month. And then we submit it, and they submit it to the proper area. I really don't know exactly where it goes.
So would it make, do we then make the complaint? I don't know, we can do I sometimes I don't like dealing with 311 because it's so anal, you know, like if it isn't on a sheet that they follow, they don't seem to know where to put the complaint. So if we make a general complaint about lights in the park, whether they're near at the tennis court, they don't have lights on them, but you know, there are lights around, you know, the periphery of the tennis court. So are those DOT or are those parks lights? That's some funny.
Those are parks.
Okay.
Okay, so the parks will reach out to, it's actually DOT. So the
Okay.
parks will reach out to DOT. They put in a requisition, a light outage report.
Mhm.
We report it to DOT.
Okay, all right, so we'll make the complaint to Parks and Parks will then follow up, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fine, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Allison.
You're
All right.
welcome.
I'm going to hold our budget requests to the latter part of the meeting. I would like to move on to the tree lighting. As many of you know, this committee supports the tree lighting that we have every year on Marshall Parkway. All right, so we need to pick a date tonight for our tree lighting because it's time to get the permit to do it and also to get somebody to hire somebody to do the lights for us. So usually in the past, we've had it on a Thursday night. I'm looking at a calendar and 2, 4, there are 5 Thursdays in December. I'm suggesting either the 8th or the 15th as the night for the tree lighting. So committee, can I have some input from you?
Okay, December
8th, that's a Thursday night, or December 15th.
the 15th
Either one is fine.
Maybe the 8th, because the 15th will bring us closer to the holiday and people
Okay.
will be
Right.
busier, perhaps.
Okay, and we pay a lot for the lights and to get this done, so, you know, the longer we can have it, the nicer it is. I like.
Exactly, I agree.
Okay, Ruth agrees too. All
So
right,
that-
so
I'm sorry.
suppose we go with the 8th of December for the tree light.
Right, and so does that mean we don't have a committee meeting that week, right, Barbara?
Usually, in December, we ask the committee to come to the tree lighting, and that's our meeting for December.
Okay.
All right, that's usually what we've done in the past.
Hello,
If-
Barbara? This is Gwen.
Yes.
According to my, it shows that, you know, some people may not be able to, it says the Immaculate Conception holiday.
The what?
Holiday of obligation. It's the Immaculate Conception holiday of observation
Oh, on the 8th?
On the 8th.
on the 8th. On the 8th, yes.
Uh,
You know,
Unless,
some people may not come. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there.
yeah, that's the point. The only option would be, if we want to keep it that week, maybe would be the 7th on a Wednesday night. How are you feeling about that? And that would be the night that our Parks Committee would meet.
Oh,
Okay, that's good.
All right, you think that's better?
well, let's see if we can get all the players on that date. That's what we need to make sure that we have everybody on board.
Okay. You know, by the players, you mean,
Parks.
Parks, yeah. Okay, the committee
Elected
though, is in
officials.
favor of the 7th, that's a Wednesday night.
Yeah, which is,
That's good.
traditionally, we've always had it on a Thursday night, so this is,
We're breaking tradition.
right, so we just want to make sure that everybody's, you know, knows that. if you want to do it that early,
Okay, wait a minute, hold on 1 minute, that's not our night. No.
Oh,
it's
isn't
not a
that,
good
no,
night.
we're on the 14th.
Yes, yes.
That's the Bedford
not a good night
Marshall.
for me.
That's the other group, Barbara.
Yeah, right, no, that's not a good night for me. So it's either the 8th or the 15th.
Oh,
What's your
okay.
feeling? Should we vote?
Yeah, vote.
Okay, let me get a ballot up. Voting. Okay. All right. Okay, all those who are in favor of voting for the 8th, say yes. And if not, give us a no. Okay, I would go for the 8th. Tasha
Exactly.
is not here. Betty?
Yeah, fine. The 15th is fine.
We're voting on the 8th.
Oh, the 8th. Oh, regardless of the fact that it's a,
Yes, yes.
okay, fine, the 8th.
Okay, it's okay with you?
Yeah, my only question is, don't we usually have like Mount St. Ursula join us?
Yeah, but they usually get that day off,
Okay,
so I think they would probably come in.
all right, okay,
Okay.
fine. I go with the 8th. The 8th is fine.
Okay. All right, Daisy?
Yes, I'll take the 8th.
Okay. And Gwendolyn?
I'll take the 8th. Everything falls in place. I'll do the 8th.
Okay, and Ruth?
The 8th works for me too.
Okay, good. And Toby?
The 8th works for me just fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go with the 8th, and usually it's this committee that supports it. If there's anybody on the committee that would like to help, please let me know, and I'll keep you posted. I will say that both myself and our district manager, Aisha, were not happy with the way the tree was lit last year. Evidently, the company who did it just had strings of lights coming from the top of the tree, and it certainly didn't look like they put too much effort into it. So
Correct.
currently, we're looking for another vendor or contractor to do that.
Great.
So I'll keep you posted, and we'll see, what we can come up with.
Okay.
Okay.
Barbara, sign me up.
Who's
This is
that?
Ruth, sign me. This
Ruth?
is Ruth, sign
Okay.
me up.
Tree lighting, good. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on. The next item on our agenda. We'll go with the recreation centers. I believe we have a couple of people on for the centers. Do we have anybody from the Williamsbridge Oval? We'll start in the north.
No,
Anybody from the Oval? No?
no.
Okay, I must say that they have more than a few events coming up for Halloween. And
I thought Sarah was on. I see
I
a Sarah,
thought she was on too.
but I'm not sure that's Sarah, or is that another Sarah? No.
She was on.
Yeah, she's on, so I thought that she would discuss the Halloween event.
All right, do we have anybody from St. James? Okay, we have.
Hi, yes, I'm on.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Shirley.
Hi, how's everyone this evening?
Good day.
Okay, right now we have discontinued the outdoor programming at St. James. We ended at the end of September, just kind of due to the weather So
Right.
it really wasn't, a good idea to continue on. But we did have a wonderful summer. We had a wonderful spring. So we do look forward to coming back again. At this time, I can't give an update on the Recreation Center opening as of yet. Hopefully by next meeting, I'd have some more information and can give you kind of an update on that end. So right now, there's no outdoor programming going on. So I will plan for next season. This Saturday, we do have a fall festival from 12 to 4, which is going to be a really great event in St. James Park. So hopefully we'll have everyone come out for that event.
Okay, Shirley, what happens to your position over the winter now? Do you stay at St. James or do they send you elsewhere?
No, I will still be around overseeing the project at St. James as well as another district, and I'll be based primarily out of my main office.
Okay, thank you. All right, do we have anybody on from DeVoe? Well, I know we have Toby on. Toby, is there anything new you wanted to tell us about or DeVoe?
There's nothing new. I mean, other than we had, and I think I mentioned it last meeting, or perhaps I didn't. We did have our peace rally. The peace rally went well. We're scheduled to meet. We did a tree lighting last year. I don't know what the plans are this year. I will keep us updated as I get more information.
All right, I have a few flyers from Williamsbridge Oval that I would like to put up. So what I will do is share with you some events they're having. Okay, this is a Furry Friend Halloween fashion show on Friday, October 14th. One item they're having there. Oh, wow. I lost my connection. Hang on. Oh, well. Well, oh, this is awful. Oh, okay.
Barbara,
I got it.
I noticed Sarah is,
Is she on?
she's in the chat. She says I don't know why she's, I'm trying to talk through the phone.
Oh, okay.
Is she, okay, that might be her. Is that 631?
Maybe Sarah, are you on?
So she's chatting. She mentioned the haunted house, October 28th,
Right.
7
Okay.
to 9, and the
Come on.
pumpkin party on the 29th from 1 to 3. So the evening one, the 7 to 9 is for the older kids and the pumpkin parties for the younger kids. We're looking for people to help with providing some candy for the kids for the pumpkin party. If you want to drop off candy, you can bring it to the center.
Okay, that's good. All right, thank you, Betty. I
You're welcome.
appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay, and we have Friends of Marshall Parkland on.
Yes, hello, how are you? So I do have just 2 announcements. One of them is we have a fall festival as well. It seems like we have a lot of fall festivals this weekend, which is great. It's from 11 to 3. I did share the flyer in the beginning, so that's on there. And the other thing I have is I am sharing information from the Community Partnership Alliance. They will be holding 3 visioning sessions on the parkway itself. I can share that later. It's for October 29th. Actually, it's October 22nd, 29th, and November 5th. And they're going to select 3 areas in the parkway just to gather people up and do surveys.
All right, I have the sessions on the map up.
Yep.
Okay, so if you can see where they're going to be and when, Jerome Avenue Plaza on the 22nd, 2 o'clock to 4. Circle of Friends, which is on Marshall Parkway South at 2 4th Street on the 29th. And the World War I Monument, which is on Marion and Marshall Parkway, right in the center there.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, anything else, Elizabeth?
No, that's it for us.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Allison, there are 2 things I forgot to tell you that people have brought to my attention. One is the shrubs near Tracy Towers need to be cut. People who drive cannot see coming around, so can you have your crew come out there and take care of it? This is a problem.
Is that on the Green Street here?
That's right at Jerome and Marshall, Tracy Towers near the big apartment building. There's like a little triangle there with shrubs. They need to be cut.
Okay.
Okay, and the second thing is our Veterans Committee would like to do some flagging at the World War I Monument on Marshall Parkway.
Okay.
I don't know, how much that will entail, whether it'll be just small American flags that they would put around the plantings or what, but I assume they would need some kind of permission for that.
Yes.
Okay, so what should they do? Fill out a permit or?
Yes, I would fill out a permit, and that way we would be able to discuss and see what exactly they wanted to do.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right. And I also want to announce that Aqueduct Walk Park is having a cleanup on November 5th from 10 to 12. If anybody would like to attend, feel free. All right. And from here on, we're going to be discussing our budget requests. I will put up what I sent out.
Barbara,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Can you be more specific about the Aqueduct Walk cleanup because it's so long? Are we doing Fordham up, Fordham down,
I would have to find
Fremont
out.
down?
I noticed it was just put on my agenda and I haven't been in touch with anyone. I will find out, send the information out to the committee as to where they're starting.
Can you tell me the date again, please?
Excuse me?
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Can you tell me the date again, please?
Yes, it's November 5th from 10 to 12.
Thank you.
Maybe you can let us know, Allison, what end of the walk they are going to be at. It would be helpful.
If I find out, yes.
Okay, if you find it, I'm gonna inquire too, because part of the southern part isn't in our board area, but certainly from Kingsbridge down, it is.
From Kingsbridge to 183rd below.
Right,
Yes.
okay, good, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to put up, committee, what I sent out before the weekend for you to take a look at as far as what we put in the budget for last year. And what I plan to do is to go through the items we had in and then to see if you want to keep them, drop them, and then discuss any new items that we want to include. All right. Let me get this. All right, so we will start with our capital requests. The first one was the rehab of Frisch Field. Now, Parks made a prior commitment because the money was appropriated by a former council person. We did have a preliminary scope last winter, but I've heard nothing more on that. So my feeling is let's leave it until we actually see that a contract is in effect. All right, number 2, the Packer, the garbage truck for the district. All right, what we got back from our council person and the borough president well, we didn't get anything back from them. Then we were told by the budget office that insufficient funds were a problem, and we should consult our council person or our borough president. Allison, do you need another packer? What is-
Yes,
Okay, so we'll leave that in. All right, Allison answered that question. All right, number
Yes.
3, renovate the basketball courts at DeVoe Park. We were told insufficient funds. Consult the council person or the borough president. Well, you're gonna hear this a lot because actually what happens with parks is that other than the expense budget, if any rehabilitation is going to be done, it has to come from another source, either the council person or the borough president. So that's why you see so many responses this way. All right, do you want to leave this in or take it out? Let's hear from you. Basketball courts at DeVoe.
We can leave it in, but also there's another round of participatory budgeting. Maybe I can pitch for the basketball courts to be refurbished using participatory budgeting, but let's leave it in just in case it doesn't.
Okay, I'm not sure if participatory budgeting would cover the amount we need for the renovation, but I'll leave it in and you find out what you can, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right, now the next one, repair broken pavement at Holt Place entrance to the Oval. We were told insufficient funds. Again, do you want this in or out?
Repeat that.
Keep it?
In,
No, she said
Okay.
repeat it. I said keep it or repeat it.
Repair broken pavement at Holt Place entrance to Williamsbridge Oval.
Keep it in.
Keep it, okay? All right, then we asked for new fitness equipment at St. James Recreation Center.
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe?
Anyone from St. James?
Yeah, no, I think they left. Not sure.
it's
So,
flooded.
so do they have fitness equipment now? This is to.
Well, the place got flooded and it's closed, period.
right.
But yeah, I guess, let's keep it in there since, I mean,
Yeah, and they may get it once they renovate. Okay, we'll leave it then. Create outdoor fitness stations along the upper level of the Oval. And the answer was a little different, further study by the agency needed. So let's
good,
keep
let's
it.
keep it in, good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep
Okay.
it in.
All right, next one was install cameras at DeVoe, St. James, Aqueduct Walk, and the Oval. Again, further study by the agency needed, we'll keep it in.
Yeah,
Keep it in.
All right, repair the
Keep it in.
stone stairs at the Oval and make them ADA accessible. All right.
Keep it in.
Funds.
Yep,
Keep it in,
mhm.
Keep.
Yep,
okay. Next was repair perimeter fencing at the Oval. Again, the answer was insufficient funds.
Keep it in.
Okay. The next was creation of Regatta Park on the waterfront at Fordham Landing. The answer was further study by the agency. I don't think we're gonna get that one until they put up the new housing that's going there. And I-
Right.
But we might as well keep it, and maybe at that point, maybe we can get the developers to pay for it.
To pay for it, that would be smart, we'll keep it, okay. Repave the sidewalk on the east side of Bainbridge from westbound lanes of Marshall Parkway to North Service Road, insufficient funds. Keep it,
Yes.
keep it in.
okay, reseed the curbs and repitch the sidewalks at DeVoe Park to improve drainage. Install new benches. Insufficient funds came up. You want to keep it?
Yes,
Yes.
let's keep it.
Okay. Rehabilitate the 2 playgrounds at DeVoe Park, install new equipment. Insufficient funds came up.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
Let's
Okay,
keep
and
it.
I must say, please lobby if you have groups at that park or whatever, because if you can get the money from your city council person, that goes a lot faster than just putting it on our list. All right,
Yes.
redesign and repurpose the vacant storage house at DeVoe Park, which is located in the middle of the park. All right, insufficient funds came back. Should we keep it?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's keep it.
Okay, and the last thing we had there was rehabilitate the entire length of Marshall Parkway. Well, you know what came back on that. Well, we'll keep it. We can dream
Yeah,
on.
we'll
Elizabeth's
keep it.
working hard to, try to get people interested. Okay, now, I'm debating whether or not we should move the garbage truck to the expense items. I think maybe that might be a better place for it. We did mention it down in expense requests. These we sometimes get because the city will pay for it. And that was additional personnel and equipment such as a packer, mechanical brooms, grass cutters, and a pickup truck. And
are those capital or is in that expense?
their expense, yeah, we're down to
Okay.
expense, okay?
Okay.
And the answer was the agency recommends funding, but funding is uncertain at this time. So let's
Oh,
leave
boy.
it,
Yeah. Hmm.
all right? And then we asked for additional PEP officers to patrol parks and playgrounds. The agency again recommended funding, but it's uncertain. And then provide a full-time gardener for Marshall Parkway, St. James Park, and DeVoe Park. Again, they recommend, but funding is uncertain. And
That may
then,
go on for 10 years.
excuse me?
That may go on for 10 years.
Yeah, right. Provide a playground associate for recreational activities at DeVoe, which I feel is much needed. And the agency recommends funding, but it is uncertain at this time. So we'll leave that. Everybody's in agreement?
You know
Yeah.
what?
What?
Barbara, you mentioned that the basketball court might be too expensive, but what about the recreational staff there? That might be something that might be doable.
Yeah, you might want to ask for that under participatory budget.
Yes. I'm gonna
definitely.
highlight that, okay?
Okay, and if they tell you that they cannot do it because it's staffing, I would suggest you also ask about that little house that's there to rehabilitate that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good idea,
Okay,
good idea.
okay. Now, we had some new items that were requested the last couple of months, so I'll go over them, and then if anybody has anything else, we'll add. So actually, we're not taking anything out of our capital outlay from last year, correct?
Right.
Okay, so these are possible new items. Lighting along the new path on Marshall Parkway South near East 2 4th Street. They put that new path in and a new traffic light at that point, and it was suggested that we get lighting. But I'm not sure if that's Parks or if that's DOT.
That's definitely DOT, but you know what, as Allison had said, we could put it in both and then maybe request that
Yeah, maybe we'll pick it up,
DOT
right.
committee also put it in.
Yeah, we'll ask Edgar if his committee can put it in
Right,
too.
yeah.
Okay. All right, the next was upgrade, prune and clean the tree pits along the islands of the Grand Concourse from Kingsbridge Road to Marshall Parkway. Replant trees if needed. I mean, it's so unsightly, it's terrible. Should we leave it?
Barbara,
Leave it.
Okay,
Barbara,
yes,
may I intervene on that one?
yes, go ahead.
As you may not know, or you may know, the Grand Concourse is being rehabilitated and all those trees are gonna fall in under that jurisdiction. What they did down at 161st Street will be done all the way to the end of the Grand Concourse from Kingsbridge to Marshall. So therefore, that really falls under DOT.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna rehabilitate them, the center aisles of the Grand Concourse, and all the tree pits are gonna fall in under that.
Okay, do you know how soon or where the contract is?
They're up to Fordham Road, so they're moving along. I mean,
Okay, so that will be another one we'll give to DOT.
that's definitely in the sights of DOT.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank
And-
you.
Yeah, so that's a done deal. It's just a matter of when they get up to doing it.
Okay, thank you.
They're at Fordham Road. They're moving
All
along.
right, they're close then. That's good to hear. All
They're
right.
getting there. They're
The
getting there.
next one is, there was a request for night lighting for games at Williamsbridge Oval. Now,
Right.
that certainly I'm not opposed to. However, I think the teams that play there should lobby the council people, because that would have to come from them definitely. And Allison, do you see any problems with requesting that? The night lighting?
The only problem I see is securing them and keeping them,
Maintaining that, yeah.
maintaining them, and we would have to stabilize them so that, you know, they don't get vandalized.
Okay, yes, definitely. All right, well, do you want to leave that in committee or what?
What does it say as far as it, what was the response from OMB on that one?
We didn't have this in, this
Oh,
was.
this is a new one. Oh, I'm sorry, this is a new one, okay.
So let's try it, see what we get.
Okay,
back.
give it a shot.
All right, and maybe the teams can lobby the council people. All right, the next is, we hear that the artificial turf at Harris Field is not in good shape, so we're
Right.
requesting repairs.
It is horrible.
Keep it in.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll definitely keep that. All right.
Yeah.
Now, the next one, I don't know if it's our committee, but I think we should put it in anyway because it's a sport, whatever. Repair and rehabilitate the swimming pool at Digger Clinton High School. But we have to, I will also tell our education committee that we want them to put it in also. Now, that wouldn't be Parks, Allison, right?
No.
Yeah.
not at
DOE, right?
all. Yeah, yeah.
But definitely, you know, I'm going to make sure that Lurs knows about it.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else that anybody would like to add to our new items?
Do we want to add anything, do we have anything there about our street trees at all?
About what?
Our street trees, you know, trees on the sidewalk.
Yeah, we should.
I know that I saw these stickers on the sidewalk of Decatur below 204th Street going towards Mashula Parkway North, where it says that they're going to put in a tree. There's about 3 of them.
Okay.
They're not it's not, and interestingly enough, it's not replacing trees that are also, there are some tree pits on that street. So that they're going to put in trees in new locations on that block.
Oh,
And I'm hoping that they will also do something about the trees that are missing, because the trees that are on that block were young trees. So it's, you know, they would have to remove the stump and then replant a new tree there. There are about 3 of those on that block as well.
okay, suppose we request that they replace trees in
Well, throughout CB7. You know.
the replacement of trees in the empty tree pits throughout CB7.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good one. And that includes, and I don't know what happened about some of the trees that were along Fordham Road. I don't know if they've been cut by the business owners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they do things to the tree pit so that the tree dies, you know,
Right.
there's that whole
Right.
thing as well, so. Yeah.
Right.
Excuse me, can I say something?
Mhm.
As far as with the trees, if they're small trees, new trees, if they're not watered on a daily basis,
Right.
then they will die. And then if they die, then they have to be removed.
But isn't that the responsibility of the contractor? I understood that
That's right.
when they put in the tree, that they're
Yes.
also responsible for maintaining that tree for a given
3
period of
years.
time.
Well,
3
yes,
years?
they are. Yes.
So that's another
They don't
story.
come around as often as they should.
That's correct, yeah, and yeah. So we'll have to be on top of that as well.
Right.
But Barbara, we got too many dead trees that have never been removed.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They
A
need
lot
to,
of them.
you need to add that to that.
You know,
Okay.
money for that, you know.
Yes, Barbara, that's a good one.
Okay,
I'm still waiting for my 5 to 6 year list of trees I gave you to be cut down. They have not come back to cut them.
okay. So I'll put remove and replace dead trees throughout CB7. How's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, anything else anybody wants to add? We certainly have a lot, that's for sure.
Get rid of this one. Get rid of number 2.
The upgrade one, okay. You think we should, see, I don't like to get rid of anything until I actually see it in construction. All right, any other suggestions? All right, so when we work on the budget, which probably.
One, that I see Gwen there. What's happening with, what is that place?
Oliver, you're talking about Oliver.
Oliver, yes.
Oliver, yes, what's happening there?
We'll get back to you on that, Barbara.
Okay,
It's moving,
Thank you.
it's moving.
okay, thank you.
But we don't need budget. We
You
don't
don't
need.
need me to put anything
No.
in? No? Okay.
No.
All right.
Please let me know. All right, thank you. All right, so if everybody is in favor of keeping what we had last year and then adding the 7 items, that would be great.
Okay.
All right? Do we have anybody who's opposed to anything in either group? All right, so again, you know, I strongly suggest you lobby your council person for a lot of these issues, but in the meantime, we're going to put it in the budget because I've been told in the past that some council people actually look throughout the budget to see what the requests are. So sometimes they're looking to spend a little money and they check it out. All right. Anything else that we need to discuss, whatever? All right, let me see if I have, according to my agenda, our next meeting date will be November 9th. And we'll let you know if it's going to be an in-person meeting. I mean, it was nice seeing everybody in September, but that didn't last too long. So hopefully November we'll be back meeting again. And is there any topic that anyone would like put on the agenda for next month that we didn't have this month?
Will we need to discuss the tree lighting, anything related to that at the next meeting, or is that
Yes,
gonna be a separate?
Tree lighting,
Forestry,
okay.
forestry,
Yeah.
Forestry.
forestry.
Try to get somebody from forestry, that's almost impossible, but I will try. And Allison, thank you so much for being with us tonight. You were very
You're
helpful.
welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad I was helping.
And hopefully we'll see you again.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, that's good.
I have a question.
Yes, a question, go ahead, Gwen.
Yes, I wanted to ask, it's my understanding that the parks that's attached to the schools are actually public parks. Is there any way to keep people off of the property when the kids are out during lunch and playing to keep the public off the park during that time? Or
Which
is
park? Which park, Letitia?
PSA, for instance, I know that there was some complaints that some parents had that, you know, while the kids are out for lunch or during their, you know, if they happen to be out for gym, that there was some parents that was coming onto the property, you know, to say hello and everything. But the thing is that you don't know who has on protection, who's supposed to be there, not supposed to be there, type of thing. And I'm like, is there any way of during a certain time of day of when the kids are out there to keep people from coming onto that property during that time?
Interesting. Elizabeth, are you on?
No, I don't think she's on.
No, I am.
Oh,
I
yes, she
am.
is. There she is. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
So it is a public playground, however, it's a joint shared playground. So Allison, I'm throwing this one back to you because it is jointly shared with PSH. And it's always been that way, so she would be a better person to answer that question.
So what I would suggest you do would be to speak to someone from the school, perhaps the dean. They'll reach out to the Parks Department and we can arrange so that we can close that park a certain time of day just for the kids' recess.
Okay.
Okay, I'll pass that on to them. Thank you.
Okay, good. That seems feasible.
I'm sorry, what was the person,
I-
who's the person
may I-
gonna have to contact? I'm sorry.
Well, I would say speak to the principal or the dean, someone like that, that could probably
Mhm.
reach out to our agency, the
Right.
Parks Department, and then we
Probably.
can meet with the Parks Department. I don't have a problem with doing it.
Okay,
So the principal or someone in authority in the school.
So
Right,
Allison, would
okay.
they be contacting you?
They can contact me.
Do you have contact information you can share with Letitia?
I sure do.
You could put in the chat?
My email is Allison, ALLYSON .Jackson @parks.nyc.gov.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
But remember, community people who have children who are not of school age use that park during the day, and that is a public playground. So
Right,
the school can't annex a public playground when it's open to the public. It belongs to the public.
But there could be a way.
I'm just saying this. If I have a 2-year-old and I want to go in that park at 10 in the morning, I should be allowed to do that.
Well, maybe a
We're
certain.
not closing it at 10 in the morning. It's just during lunch hour, is my
You
understanding.
know, well,
Yes, I don't think that it would be for the whole day.
No,
I
no.
just think that it would be a certain time of day. And I think that it would be an arrangement that's made. So that they could-
Right, it would only be a certain time of day, so let's say if they gave you a schedule and it wouldn't be throughout the whole school year, so definitely, if it's between, let's say 10 and 12,
Right.
And because we are
and
jointly operating.
if they only keep the kids in a certain section, if people were allowed to go in that particular section, as opposed to, cutting off the whole park.
That would be good.
Yes.
Exactly. Area.
May I ask a question in reference to it?
Yes,
What-
yes, go ahead.
What were the complaints of the parents in relation to the children?
It was just people, strangers coming up off of there, you didn't know who was who.
Okay.
It's kids out there about, like I said, there are people that do, I don't know of any personally, but there's been talk of, people, kids that are in foster homes, kids that are in shelters, what's the other thing? Or the protections out. And you don't know who these people are until you see them, unless somebody drops off a picture and say, well, this is the person here. We don't want this person, coming to the school looking for this particular child or whatever, but you don't know who's who. The kids are running around, and if they're running all through and about, there's only but so much staff out there to watch them. And then if there's people off the street that's coming in onto the park, just hanging out and about, or, talking to the kids, whatever, you don't know who's who.
Right.
So that was one of the complaints that we asked about, when my son was going to school, we did ask about that. Is there a way to keep that, shut down for a little bit? And then that's when I was told, well, it's a public park. You can't necessarily do that. And no one wanted to say anything because no one wanted to lose that space at the same time either. So it was kind of like, I was like, well, I think that if it's between such and such hours, and again, you're not shutting down the whole park, you're only pretty much just keeping, maybe the swing will stay open, but the kids are in the other open area, you know, type of thing where they can
Right,
still get
right.
that outside exercise and not shut the whole park down, that shouldn't be that big of a deal between, like, let's say 10 and 12 or 10 and 12:30 or something when they're
I
out for
agree,
lunch.
right.
I
Good.
think something could be worked out. I mean, I
Yes,
understand the need to
definitely.
protect
I believe
children
so
at
too.
all the same time making the park as, accessible to the public. I think there's a way of doing this in a way that I think everyone will understand, but, we'll see how it works out, if it can be done. If it's blowback from whoever, then, we go back to the way it was. It's not like they have an enclosed playground dedicated to
Right.
the school, like at other public schools that have a play yard. So,
Mhm.
Good, good.
I,
All
I
right,
think
any
something can be worked out.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you.
Thank
It
you.
is going to be operated with the school, so I believe that, they'll work something.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass that on to them.
All right, any other comments, complaints, whatever? All right, our next meeting will be then on November 9th, and we will add to our agenda certainly forestry and the tree lighting. And any other items that you would like added, speak now. Okay, and thank you, everybody, for your attendance tonight, and thank you, Allison, we appreciate. And have a good evening. All in favor of closing the meeting, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good.
Aye.
Thanks again.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right.